Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. How is marriage different for reverts or converts? So I myself am a revert, you can say, even though it's been more than 2 decades, alhamdulillah. So in this video, I'm going to reveal to you what marriage can look like for reverts who have reverted to Islam, who Allah has guided them to Islam. They've said their shahada and now they are Muslims. And for any reverts who are watching, this is going to clear up, inshallah, a lot of stuff when it comes to marriage and, things that you think you already know. For those who do not know, my name is Gabriel Romaani. I've been a Muslim for over 20 years, but I've also been a counselor for about the same time. And one of the great experiences that I've had early in my counseling career was to be the coordinator for a group, a social project at our masjid. We had an organization. I was the social worker there, but I was focusing on reverts a lot. So I've helped them a lot with marriage vetting problems, with marriages. A lot of reverts, when they become Muslim, especially sisters, they think one of the first things they should do is get married. And I understand why, because you're coming from a haram background, and obviously this is desire, and you want to make it right. And I understand why. And I heard from a lot of people. Brothers, sisters, and I've helped many of them, alhamdulillah. Now, I hope that you get some very valuable information from this video as well, if you're a revert, and even if you are not a revert, bi'idhnillah ta'ala. Now, why is this subject important? Because we have such a huge number of reverts. People are entering Islam, fi dinillahi afwaja. They're entering in masses, alhamdulillah. But they're also leaving Islam. And sometimes the cause of leaving Islam is an unsuccessful marriage, problems, trauma within a marriage. Sometimes mixed marriages between a revert and a existing or cultural Muslim. And the experience of the revert with this so-called Muslim. And sometimes the other way around. And the existing Muslims, cultural people, they get traumatized by the reverts who bring in luggage and baggage from their past. So why am I talking about this? Because not many people talk about it. Because I'm a revert. Because I've gone through some of these things. Because I've had the experience of working with so many reverts, hundreds, not thousands of reverts over the years, and to see the patterns. Now, you see, people try to get married right away. People try to, they embrace Islam, like, I gotta get married. Who do you go to for help and support? Sometimes to the masjid. And sadly, a lot of masajid are not trained to handle reverts. They think, Tom from California is the same as Ahmed from Karachi. It's not the same. They don't get it, that things are not the same. That you have to have a specific approach. And if we look at the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ and his prophetic teaching methodology, they're very, very different. All right? So I know that a lot of reverts are very overwhelmed when they come to Islam because there's so many new things that they have to understand, learn how to pray, a new language, terminology, and so on. Inshallah, subhanallah, alhamdulillah, Allah Akbar, bismillah. People get overwhelmed, believe it or not. But also when it comes to marriage, they get overwhelmed. They might still have a girlfriend from the past or a boyfriend who are not Muslim. They might be trying to get their head around how marriage works in Islam. Maybe they can convert into Islam, or maybe they can marry them. There's a lot of baggage that comes from the past. And it can be very, very difficult. But it can be easier as well. See, if we have a system, if we know how to handle it, then we can make it easier. Now, is it really that much different for new Muslim than from born Muslims when it comes to marry? Well, the answer is it isn't that much difference because we're kind of dealing with the same problems. There are some differences, inshallah, but it's pretty much the same. If you are a Muslim, okay, and you are a revert and you decided to really commit to Islam, you're learning your prayer. look, guys, I mean, people are learning songs like this. People are learning names of artists and statistics of football players and whatnot. So if you're a revert watching this, like, understand that it's up to you. You can dedicate your time and put in that effort to read Quran, to pray, and you can turn out to be even better than the born Muslims. And in many cases, that's how it is. Actually, in many cases around the world, reverts, they turn out to be more pious than born Muslims. I've had clients who married sometimes and became Muslims not for Islam. Some of the sisters that I know, they became Muslim because they wanted to marry some guys. They married the guys. The guy was not so practicing, but he was a born Muslim in a Muslim family. SubhanAllah, she realized that he's not that practicing, that she read the Quran. Her intention was for marriage, but it turned out to be that she became connected to the Quran, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and even had problems in her marriage and left and divorced many sisters that I know because they found that their husbands were not good Muslims. Now, they became better Muslims, subhanAllah. So, look, guys, you have to find also someone who is pious, equally pious. If you're a new Muslim, you dedicate your life to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're connected to the Quran. You know this is the truth. You need to find someone who's like you. Muslim, born Muslim, revert, and so on. But you have to, and yeah, guess what, man? It's quite lonely there for a revert. It's quite lonely there. And here I want to say also the word revert, guys, is also comes sometimes where people are not practicing. I've met so many ethnic Muslims by name, but they consider themselves reverts. They've never practiced. They don't know Islam. In places like the UK, like Canada, USA, they didn't know Islam. Yeah, his name is Hamza, but nothing to do with Islam. But they revert. They come into the deen. So you got to find a system that helps you to get married. Just as you found a system that helps you to learn how to pray, how to learn Islam, how to read the Quran, you need to find a system that helps you to marry. And why, again, brothers and sisters? Because a lot of people jump into marriage right away when they come to the deen. And again, as I said at the beginning, it's understanding. Because you want to protect yourself against haram. You want to protect yourself against the evil around there. You've had haram relationships. You're coming from kufr. You're coming from disbelief. Naturally, the first thing you want to do is you want to make it right. But if you jump the gun and you rush, especially sisters. So, sisters take shahada, guys line up at the masjid on the stairs. Hey, you want to marry me? You want to marry me? They're like, okay, I'll just pick the most handsome one. Then they end up divorced within 6 months, 4 months, a year, maybe even pregnant. Take the marriage vetting blueprint. At least it will help you to understand how to navigate. Take a step back if you're taking shahada and don't just jump into marriage. Be like, okay, I want to get married, but is this person going to be compatible with me? How do I know they're compatible? What are the questions that I should be asking? All that and much more in the marriage vetting blueprint. In summary, look, being a new Muslim is not easy. You have to understand. For those who are born, those who have reverted, those who have come back to Islam, it's not easy. Everyone's against you. The whole world, look at the world, the fitna, everything. It's not easy, but you found Allah. Allah guided you. And now you want to make the right decision. Yes, new Muslims, we have to handle them differently. Yes, we should train our masajid and our people to know how to deal with new Muslims, that there's a gradual step. But if you are a new Muslim, you need to know that you need to take it upon yourself as well. There's responsibility on you, not just the community. Sometimes the community is going to disappoint you. I tell you, as a new Muslim, I was disappointed so many times with the community. That's okay. It's not their fault. I mean, you could blame people as much as you want to. In the end, it's between you and Allah. Are you serious about Islam? And the same thing, are you serious about knowing how to vet for marriage and choosing the correct spouse so you can spend the rest of your life properly, inshallah, worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, raising good children, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, and helping the da'wah? This is the question you have to answer to yourself. If you are, then take the marriage vetting blueprint, the description, and the link is in this video. To know more, click the link. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.